Making a portfolio website is the best way to show your work and to get new clients. Hi, my name is Ryan Moore, and today we're making this beautiful and simple portfolio website step by step with no steps skipped. A portfolio website needs 3 things in order to be successful. First, you have to have a homepage to show your work. People have ADD, and if they can't find your work quickly, they'll just leave. Second, you have to have an about page. This doesn't matter much for big companies because people already know who they are, but it matters for you. According to our analytics, people click on the about page, so this is really important. People want to know who they're going to be working with. And third, you need a way for people to contact you, whether it's email, phone number, or social media. These are the 3 things, the trifecta if you would, that make a successful portfolio website. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do all of this step by step with no steps skipped. So let's get started. We're going to get your website up in 3 easy steps. That's setup, options, and design. Setup is where you get your domain name and hosting. Your domain name is like your address to your home. So it's like www.yourname.com or www.yourbusinessname.com. And hosting is just a computer that's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that stores your website's images and all of its content. So without hosting, your website would be blank. I'm going to show you how to get your domain name for free, and I'm also going to show you how to get hosting for only $30 a year. And this is a really great deal to be able to broadcast your website to the entire world. Then we're going to get into options. This is free. I'm going to show you how to install WordPress and how to choose a design that works for you. And lastly, we're going to design your site. This is actually the funnest part in my opinion. Here, we're going to swap out images, change its colors, add content, and this is where your site really comes to life. So let's get started with the first step by getting your domain name and hosting. The first thing you want to do is open up a new browser, and you want to go to the top and type in hostgator.com. That's HOSTGATOR, hostgator.com. And it should look something like this. I do get a small commission for recommending HostGator, so thank you so much. And I've been using HostGator for over 15 years now, and I've been recommending them since. There are thousands and thousands of hosting companies to choose from, and obviously I haven't tried all of them, but I really like HostGator because of their 24-hour, 365 support, and they have amazing prices to get started. So to get your website name and hosting, just hover over hosting right here. You're going to see 3 options right here: shared hosting, website builder, and WordPress hosting. You would think we would use WordPress hosting because we're making a WordPress website, but actually that's way too much. We don't need all these things that come with it. It costs more money, and we could always upgrade later. So what we want to do is we want to click on shared hosting right here. Click on that. And if you scroll down, you'll see these 3 plans right here: the Hashlink plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. But before we do this, I'm going to show you how to get even a bigger discount than the 60% they offer by going up to the top of the browser here and type hostgator.com/unlock. That's UNLOCK. And this is the biggest discount on the web. So you're going to get the biggest discount on the web if you just go here. And now all we have to do is scroll down, and you'll see that we have the Hashlink plan, the baby plan, and the business plan with 71% off to 72% off. Amazing. The difference between these plans is the Hashlink plan is for one single website, where the baby plan is for unlimited websites. I feel like the business plan is way too much than what you need, so today we're just going to focus on the baby plan and the Hashlink plan. If you know you're just going to do one website, I would start with this plan, and then you could always upgrade later. But if you have other sites you want to add to this, like your mom's website or your friend's website or another business website.com, then get the baby plan. But for now, I'm going to get the Hashlink plan. So I'm going to go down here and click buy now. All right, so now we have 2 options where we could register a domain name, or if you already bought a domain name, you could type it in here by just clicking this tab. Today, I'm going to register a domain name since I get it for free anyways. So I just typed in my domain name, and I could choose from .com, .net, .info, and so on. So if the name you want is not available, you could choose any of these other extensions if you want. It looks like the .com for me is available, so that's great. So I'm going to get that. Then I'm going to scroll down, and it says right here, domain privacy protection for about $15 a month. You could uncheck this if you want to save some money. What this is it shows your domain name to the public, like your phone number and your email. So if you uncheck mark this, you may get some calls from some marketers. I don't mind, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck it to save myself about $15. Now I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. I'm going to make sure everything looks good. So you're getting the hash link plan, and the billing cycle, I would recommend 12 months. That's where you're going to get the biggest discount right there. If you change it to 1 month, it's going to give you a 60% discount. And if you change it to 36 months, you're going to get a 62% discount. So I recommend doing the 12 months. Now go ahead and scroll down and type in your information here. Type in a password and type in your PIN. Then scroll down and enter your billing information here. Then type in your credit card information in this area right here. You could choose from credit card or PayPal. I'm going to go ahead and use the credit card. Type in credit card, CVV code, expiration, and then once you're done with that, scroll down to add additional services. I don't recommend adding any of these now because you could always do it later. And also, I'm going to show you how to do it with plugins on your website. So I'm going to keep these blank. Then just scroll down and it'll say enter a coupon code. It should say unlock here. Let's keep that there so that we could get our discounts. So let's review our order. 24/7 live support and email, that's free. Instant account activation, that's free. Money back guarantee. Domain registration, you're going to get that for free. I chose the 12-month plan, and that comes out to about $30 per month. And maybe a little more depending on the time and date you're doing this, but anything under $50 is just an amazing deal. So go ahead and just scroll down and click that you agree to the terms and service, and then click on the Checkout Now button here. All right, so congratulations, you did the hardest part, which was deciding to make a WordPress website. After you see this setup page, you may get a survey. You could just skip that down here. Now, it may take you to a page that looks like this, and all you have to do is click Get Started right there. If you don't see this, you may see another page that looks like this, and just find the Install WordPress button right there. That's what we're trying to do. If you see that other page, this page, click the Get Started button. And we're going to go ahead and create your WordPress website now. Next, you're going to see a page that looks like this, where they set up your username and password, and here you could log into your website. I would make sure to copy your username and password somewhere where you could find it later so you don't lose it. Now, to log into your website, just click on the Go to Website right here. All right, so the next step is to log into an area that looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in your domain name at the top and then type in /WP-admin. That's WP-ADMIN. When you do that, you're going to get a page that looks like this. Then you're going to type in the username and password you saw before within this area. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the username and password here, and then I'm going to put the username and password in this area here. And if for some reason you don't see the other page and you see this area, just click on this Install WordPress area again. You're going to see something like this, and then go down to Install Now. Click on that button. Then you're going to find your domain name in the list. I have a long list here, and don't put anything for the directory. That's if you want to have yourdomainname.com / something else like demo or something. I'm going to keep this blank. And then go ahead and fill out the details, your username, your password, and put in your email right here. When you're done doing that, scroll down to the bottom and click Install. So doing this will log you into your website. So let's do that now. All right, it looks like I'm logged into the website, and this is what's called your dashboard. So to recap on what we did so far is we got our domain and hosting, we created a WordPress install, and we logged into our WordPress. A lot of people will charge $150 just to get to this point. So congratulations. Now we're going to the steps where we do all the options on your website. So let's get into it. So the first thing I like to do is I like to clean this up. A lot of times when you get a new phone or a computer, you have a bunch of apps on your phone or a bunch of software on your phone. Well, the same thing happens when you install WordPress. You get a bunch of apps and stuff, and I want to clean this up because HostGator and these companies, they get paid to have all these apps, but we really don't need all of this, and it kind of gets in the way. So I'm going to show you how to clean this up first. So head on over to the area where it says plugins right here. It's on the right side and you're going to click plugins right here. These are like all the applications right here. Just scroll down right here and then check mark plugins. It's going to check mark all of these things that got installed. You may have more or less, but I just want to start out clean. So let's go ahead and check mark all of those by clicking this plugin checkmark area. And I'm going to go to this drop down and I'm going to click deactivate first. You have to first deactivate this before we delete it. So deactivate and then click apply right there. All right, once you deactivate it, now we're going to delete all the plugins by again clicking this plugin button, clicking this drop down and going to delete. Now click apply. It's going to ask you if you really want to do this. I'm going to click OK. All right, so we deleted all of the plugins so we could start out fresh and clean. So just to recap so that we're all on the same page, now you have your WordPress installed. If you go up to the top here, you'll see visit site right here. And this is what your site basically looks like right now, more or less. It's really nothing. I'm going to show you how to make it look amazing in a few seconds. But let's go back and go to the dashboard. Once you're logged in, you're going to see this top bar right here. Only you could see this top bar once you're logged in to the site so that you can navigate to your home page to see what it looks like. And then you could go back to your dashboard by clicking this area right here that says dashboard up on the top. So when you log into your website, you're going to see something like this. When you're done making changes, just go over here and you can log out, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I just wanted to show you that real fast. Now let's get on to the fun part. Let's go ahead and install a plugin that's really going to take care of a lot of stuff for you. And this is really exciting because this literally saves me about 5 to 6 hours. About 4 years back, this would literally take 4 to 5 hours to do this. Now with a single plugin, you could do a lot. And I'm going to show you how to get this free plugin right now. Click on Add New. So plugins are like applications like on your computer or on your phone. And we're going to search for a plugin right now that's called Starter. Just type in Starter and you'll see Starter Templates. And it should be this one by Brainstorm Force, and it has 5-star reviews. It has almost 3,000 people commenting, and they're always updating this and making better versions of it. This is going to install on your site to create really nice templates and really nice graphical designs for you. So I'm going to click on Install Now. Now I'm going to activate this. All right. Now you have this installed. So it looks like you have under plugins, one thing installed, and I'm going to click on See Library. Click on that. All right. There's this little tutorial on how it works, but I'm going to show you how it works, and it's really easy. It's a step-by-step guide to create a nice, beautiful template that we could edit later. So let's go ahead and build your website now by clicking that. They're going to ask, what kind of builder do you want for your site? The best builder in the world, in my opinion, is Elementor. They put so much love and so much into this, and it's amazing. So let's go ahead and click on the Elementor builder. It helps you build your website out so you could drag and drop things and change text around and so on. Now it's going to give you a list of all of these templates. You could choose any of these templates. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. It's super clean and it works really well with like a portfolio website type thing that we're making right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, and this one is free. Some of those other ones are not free, so you have to look out, but this one's free and it's absolutely amazing. And we're going to change out its colors and stuff like that. If you have a logo, you could upload it here. If you don't, then I'm going to show you how to create a free logo as well on this website. So I'm going to go ahead and skip and continue right here. And now you could change out your colors if you want. So let's say I want a color like this or like that. You could do that. And you could change out your font structure I'm just going to click continue because you could always do this later as well. And then go ahead and you could add in your name and new details. I'm just going to uncheck, let's say this one right here. I don't really want to share my sensitive data. And I'm going to click on submit and build my website. So just make sure all of these other ones are checkmarked, install and activate Astra theme, and all of this other stuff is checkmarked. And I'm going to click on submit and build my website right here. So now it's going to go ahead and build your website here. I'm going to speed up this process a little bit more so we don't have to wait. All right, it's done. Now you could click on view your website up here, and you're going to see a nice, beautiful site it created for you with that one color that I added. And it kind of adds that color throughout as well. Now I'm going to show you how to edit your pages, how to delete stuff, and how to really make a beautiful portfolio website now that we have this beautiful structure. And this is saving us hours and hours. Like I said, it really takes like 10 hours, and I'm narrowing this down to an hour to create your website. So this is amazing. So there's one other thing I want to show people. Once you create your site, you could always go back to the dashboard by clicking this button here, and it's going to send you right back to the dashboard. The other thing I wanted to show you is how amazing this one plugin that we installed really created a bunch of other stuff. It installed Elementor's plugin and installed a form builder, which we'll use on the contact page. It also, if you go to appearance and themes, it installed a theme for you, an Astra theme. So all of this really took like 2 to 3 hours typically. So we just saved a lot of time by installing that one plugins in your plugin area. And again, to see your site, you could go to blog, visit site, and you could always go back to your dashboard by clicking this W here. And there's one other thing I wanted to show you before we start editing our pages. I want to show you how to change your password if you want to. Just go to users here in your dashboard, click on edit right here, and then you could scroll down here and you could set a new password by clicking this button right here, and you could put in any password you want. And once you're done, click update. I get asked this a lot, so I just want to make sure you know how to do it. Okay, let's go back to editing your homepage by clicking up here and click visit site right there. I'm going to go ahead and leave this. Now we're going to go ahead and edit this homepage to make it look like a really professional portfolio website. And to edit your page, it's easy. You just have to click on this Elementor thing, and that will allow you to design each and every one of these pages. I'm also going to show you how to add more pages later on, but this is really, really cool. And I'm also going to show you how to edit this so you could have people fill out a form and contact you as well. But let's go ahead and start editing this homepage right now. All you have to do is just go to your website.com, make sure you're logged in, and you're going to see this thing that says Edit with Elementor. Just go ahead and click on that right there. Once you do, you're going to see something that looks like this, and anything you type on, you could change. You could add words to it, you could delete it, and there's also a navigator so that you could go to certain sections if you want. And I'm going to show you how that works as well. So you could replace any of these images, you could delete this, and you can move this up and down. This is really, really amazing. So let's get into building this out so it looks like a professional portfolio website. So before we started, I went ahead and I downloaded some images that I have right here. I'm going to put those images in the description below so you could follow along and you could add these images and then swap them out later if you want. I got my images from unsplash.com. That's N-U-S-P-L-A-S-H, and I just look for some images here. These images are copyright free, so it's really amazing that you could get all these images for free and put them on your website. So for example, mountain, you could go ahead and go here and you could download an image like this. Then when you click on it, go here, and what I like to do is use the medium. This one is just too large. The original size is way too big. So I like to use the medium, and I think that's perfect because you don't want to have people go into your site and having to load all that data. It's just too much. So you just click on that and it downloads to your download area, and you could see it. It's really, really big. I'm gonna have to resize it. There it is, right there. So that's what I did to get these images right here. So let's go ahead and replace these images so we could have a really good looking site. So to edit this background image that you see right here, you're gonna see this little area up here. This contains this whole area here. So if I click on that, you'll notice it says edit section. This is called a section, this thing that contains this area. And then within the section, you'll see words and a button. You can put whatever you want within the section. We're going to edit this section right here by clicking on these dots here. And I'm going to go over to the styles here. And I'm going to go to this image here. I'm going to replace this image. So I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to drag an image into this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag one of my images onto this right here. Here's the image I want to put on there. So I'm going to drag it and I'm going to put it on there. You don't have to drag it. You could also upload it by clicking this file, and it will look inside your directories and stuff like that. I just dragged it on there, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert Media down here. And there you go. That looks really, really nice. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to delete one of these things. There's just too many words right now for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this pencil icon here, and I'm going to click on, right click and delete. There you go. And I don't want this one either. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, delete, and I'm going to change the words here. You could either change it within this area, or you could go to the left area here and you could change it here. I'm just going to put in portfolio. There you go. That's starting to look good. All right. The next thing I want to do is actually I want to change this color right here because I don't like it anymore. So I'm going to go here, and this is the button color. I want to change this out, and then go to the styles right here. And I'm going to change the color of it right here, the text color, and then the background color. I just want to change the background color to white. So I'm going to click on the color here, and I'm going to move that to white. There it is. I want to make the typography a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go to typography right here, this little pencil. And that's how you make that bigger or smaller. So I just want to make it a little bigger. You could also change the color text right here if you wanted to whatever you want. Maybe I'll make it like a darker blue or something. And it looks pretty good. So anytime you want to edit something like a button or text, you're going to get the content and you're going to get the style of it. So for example, on this, you're going to get the content of the text, and then you're going to get the style of it where you could change out the color, the typography, and so on and so forth. The style is most likely the color, the sizing, and so on. And then the advanced area is how much spacing is on the top or bottom, and you could also do other cool stuff like motion effects and animation, which we'll get into later. But really what you want to use for advanced is the spacing. So if I took off the spacing, they automatically put on spacing. It will do that. They put -50, so I'll do that as well. That looks pretty good. Moving down right here, we're going to go ahead and add in our portfolio images really nicely. So let's do that now. You could say my portfolio or my work or something. So let's just type in my work. And you could change up this as well. This is just a solid line. If you want to go to styles, you could change this up to whatever color you want. Maybe that one looks better, a little lighter color, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and change up this. But first, I want to explain what this is. This is an intersection, and it has 3 columns within it. If you want to add your own intersection, you could go down to the bottom here and click on this plus button, and you could add no columns, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, and so on if you wanted to. And if you click on that, it will add these columns. You can move them around, and then you could go into Elementor. I'm going to show you how to do this later, so don't worry about it. And you could drop in images and then replace these images. You could go in here and drop in images. It's really, really simple, really, really easy. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But we're just going to use this template here to replace the images right here. So let's go ahead and replace this image right now. I'm going to go here, and you know what? I'm just going to upload a file, and I want to replace it with this one right here. This is a nice image that I found online. There you go. And let's go ahead and do the same for this one. I'm going to click on this image. I'm going to go to uploads, and now I'm going to replace it with another one. There you go. Click insert media here. And let's do the same for this one. Click on upload file, and I'm going to put in this image here. Insert media. There, that looks pretty good. Now, if you want a title and a description, you could do that, or you could just delete this description if you want and just keep the title there, which I'm going to do. I just want to go ahead and do that by deleting that right there. So you could put any description you want for this, or if you want, you could just delete it by right-clicking and clicking delete. Now, if you accidentally do something, that's okay. You could press Command Z or Control Z on a computer, and you could bring it back up, or you could go over to here to the history, and it's going to show the history of what you did. So you could always undo your changes based on the history, and that's really cool. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to duplicate this whole section here by going to the top, and I'm going to right click and click duplicate. There you go, and you could make it go wherever you want. I just want it to go right under there. Now we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So let's go ahead and edit this one as well. Now I'm going to speed this up so you could see that I'm going to do the exact same thing I did up here, but I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to duplicate it again because I want more images on my website. There you go. So let's go ahead and speed this up. All right, there you go. So I added 3 rows and I added some images, and now I could go ahead and change out this text right now if I wanted to. That's looking pretty good. If you look at the portfolio, you'll see that you have the work and it looks really, really nice. If you want, you could keep some of this other stuff or delete it. For now, I'm just going to delete it until I get more content for my website. So I'm just going to click on these things here and click the X button and just delete it. And to save your work, click on Update. Then to preview your work, click on Preview Changes right next to the update. It's a little I button. Click on that. It's going to open up a new browser, and you could see your work now of what people would see if they went to your website. Of course, they wouldn't see this bar, but they would see any of the changes that you just updated. So this is starting to look really, really good. All right, so next we're going to work on the About page. This is the second most important page of your whole entire site because you want to let people know what you're about and how you work. Then we're going to work on the Contact page after, and then after that, I'm going to show you how to edit this navigation so we could add more links or delete these areas and edit this logo area. So let's get into the About Us area right now. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this right here to get me into the About page, or you could go into your dashboard here and then go to Pages right here, and then you could go to the About and edit with Elementor. That's the second way of doing this. So let's go ahead and edit with Elementor just like this, or like I showed you before, you could go to the About and click Edit with Elementor. It's going to do the same thing. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to change out this background picture. So like we did before, I'm just going to click on this area, go to Styles, and I'm going to click on the image here, and I'm going to add a different image. So I like this image, so I'm going to drag it into this area, or like I showed you before, you could upload that same file. So I'm going to let this load in here, and I'm going to click on Insert Media down here, and that replaces that there. You know what? What I want to do is I want to add About Us with a capital. There you go. And the next thing I want to do is I want to show the About Us with a picture and some text, and then I want to show how you work down here. But you could go ahead and replace this however you want, but I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to go ahead and go into this area right here. And this has content blocks. Some of these are paid for, some of them are free, but I'm going to go into the block area. So these are pages that you could add, or you could go into the blocks and you could add a block here. So I'm going to add this block right here. I'm going to insert it. This is free. You don't have to do anything. It's going to ask you if you want to connect to the library, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Sometimes you just have to create an account and do this. I already have an account set up. So I'm just going to do that. and that will give you your free block right there. So they already have these nice free blocks, and that's really cool. But I want to make sure that this text is the same as this text, the same type of font. So let's go ahead and make sure that's the same, and then we're going to replace this image as well. So let's go ahead and replace this image by clicking on this area and then going over to choose image. And I found an image online that I like, so I'm going to drag it into this area, and I'm going to click on insert media. And that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to change the font. I believe I'm using Poppins for this. So I'm going to go to styles. I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to go to styles up here. And then I'm going to click on the typography, and I'm going to change the font family to Poppins, which I really love. There it is right there. And that looks a lot better. Maybe not so big, maybe just a tad smaller. That's better. I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to make sure it's Poppins as well by clicking on this, clicking on styles, and then clicking on the typography here. And I just want to make sure it's the same. There you go. That's the same. It's a little light, so maybe I'm going to go to the text color, and I'm going to make this a little darker. There you go. And I'm going to press update. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to have another section like this under it, except I want to reverse this. I want to put the text on the left and the image on the right. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this by right-clicking, pressing duplicate, and it duplicated it down here. But what I want to do now is take this image and drag it over to this area. And then I'm going to take this other stuff and drag it over to this area right here. Really simple, real easy. And there you go. So you could have an image on the left, text on the right, text on the left, and then image on the right. And it could go zigzag if you want. And you could keep duplicating this if you wanted to, duplicate it again and have another one under there. And that makes it look really, really cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and change out this right here to how we work. There you go. And then you could put like some verbiage there. So this is looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and press update. And I'm going to preview this now. That looks really nice. All right, so now we're going to get into the contact page, and this is really easy and straightforward. I'm just going to go up here and click contact right here. As you can see, you can't really see the links as well, so I'm going to put a different image back here so you could see these links and they show up a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is go to Elementor, edit with Elementor, click on that. Then once this loads, I'm going to go up here as before, and I'm going to change out this image by clicking this and then clicking styles. Let's go in here and change out this image. And the image I like is this image that I'm going to show you right now. And if you want all these images, they're in the description below. You could download all of these if you want. And there you go. All right, so for the bottom part, of course, you want to change out these fonts to match this font right there. But I'm not going to show all of this information here. I just want a contact form and maybe just an image right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some of this information. You could keep it if you want. It's really up to you. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and right click and delete this information right now. And I'm going to put a picture in here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the image area here, and I'm going to drag in this, and I'm going to replace that picture with another picture that I like, which is this picture. And I'm going to change out this font right there to a Poppins font. So I'm going to go to styles, typography, and I'm going to go type in Poppins. There you go. And press update. Well, maybe I want it a little smaller. There you go. And press update. There you go. That's looking pretty good. And if you want to change out this area right here, all you have to do is click on this, and you could apply different spacing, or you could go to the WP Forms area and you could add stuff here, which I'm going to show you next. But first, let's go ahead and delete some of this other stuff here. And let's go ahead and save this Contact Us page like this. And I'm going to go ahead and preview it to make sure it looks good. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to edit this right here, this little contact area. So now to edit this form, all you have to do is go into this area here of your dashboard. Go down to WP Forms. This is a plugin that got automatically installed. and you'll see this contact form right there and a short code right here. That short code is basically the same short code you see on your contact page. So when you edit this, it's referring to that one ID. So here it is right here, and you'll see this short code right there. That's the same short code as this right here. So again, I'm back here in the dashboard, and I'm at WP Forms, and I'm going to click on Edit this form because I want to edit this form, and I'm going to show you around here. So now you could drag more fields in here under the Fields area. You could drag other fields into this area. You could put a different name or a drop down if you want a drop down list, and then you could click Edit and edit that drop down, first choice, second choice, third choice, and you can add multiple choices if you want and just do whatever you want to do. I'm going to delete this by clicking that, or you could duplicate it if you want to. Delete that. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes. And you can make these mandatory or not mandatory, which is these little asterisks right here. So if you click on this, you'll see it's required or not required, and that's what that asterisk is, and so on. The other thing I would show you is the confirmation. Or is like where they get sent to, and they said, thanks for contacting us. We'll get with you shortly. And you want to maybe change that message if you want, and then press save, and your notifications. So you could change this to whatever email address you want. You could erase this. This is the admin email address. This is the email address that you signed up with when you have WordPress. So for example, if I go back in the dashboard here, I'm going to show you what email this is. Go back in the dashboard and go to users. It would be this email right here. So if you don't want it to email this email, you could change that around right there. You could just change it to whatever email and so on. And it says from whatever. So when the user gets this, it'll say from whatever email as well. So you want to receive the emails, and then the user could get an email as well if you wanted to set that up for confirmation. So that's about it. Just make sure to press save, and then you could preview changes by just going right back to your website and going to the contact area, and you could start typing in whatever you want to see if you received this message. And sometimes this goes into your spam box, so you want to check the bulk and spam box as well. So after you get this, you could check your email just to make sure that works and it's set up properly. So next, I'm going to show you how to link each of these projects to a different page. So if you want to have different projects, for example, like 6 projects or 9 projects, you could link this to a new page. So I'm going to show you how to create a new page and a new gallery for all of this. So this is really, really cool. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is create a new page so we can link any of these to a new page. So let's go ahead and create that new page now by going to the top and clicking this W here. That takes you back to the WordPress dashboard, and then we're going to go to pages and we're going to add a new page. Again, your pages are all the pages on your site, and you could edit them or click view to view your pages, but we're going to go ahead and add a new page by either clicking add new here or add new here. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to create a new title for this new page. I'm going to call it Project 1. And what I'm going to also do is create a transparency header for this. So the transparency header is this. So you don't have this big old white block in between, and you have the background flushing against all the way up to the top so that the logo and these links right here kind of go right behind the background. So that's why you want to go ahead and click on this enable transparency header. So I just did that, and I'm going to click on publish like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit this with Elementor by clicking this edit with Elementor right here. So this is how we create our page. Now you're going to get a blank page, and I'm going to import one of those templates styles that we did before by clicking this S right here. Now I'm going to click on Love Nature because that's the one that we did before, and I want to stay within this style. So clicking on that will let you see all the inner pages. I'm just going to grab one of these pages right here, maybe our service page, and I'm going to import that page. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to let you view it, and I'm going to import this template right now to this new page I created. There you go. Now you could delete this stuff or change it around. I'm going to delete some of this stuff, and I'm going to change this up here to project 1. All right. And I'm going to change this background as well up here by just clicking on this and going to the styles. And we did this before, but let's go ahead and do it again. Insert media. I like the way that looks. Now I'm going to delete some of this stuff here. So let's just X out of here, X out of this one, and delete this one, and delete this one. So all I have now is this right here. And now we're going to put a gallery in here. So when people click on your project, they could see a gallery. So the way I'm going to do that is by going over here, and I'm going to type in gallery, G-A-L-L, and then it kind of shows up. And there's 2 galleries here, but I'm going to use this basic gallery. This other one's a paid version, but the basic is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag this over, and it's going to show up like this. And the images we're going to put in right here. So I'm just going to click on this so I can import all my images. So I'm just going to grab all the images that I want on the gallery, just like this. All right, so I just clicked on a bunch of images I want, and I like to make sure they're about the same size so it doesn't look weird. Then I'm going to go ahead and create a new gallery, and then click insert. You could put captions on these if you want, but I'm going to leave them blank. Click insert, and it's going to create this gallery here, but it has too much spacing and they're too small for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this by going over here with the image size, and I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. See what they look like here. Oh, that looks beautiful, much better. Okay, cool. And maybe I have an extra one. I don't want that. So I'll either add 3 more, or I'll just remove that since I have a double right there. And that's easy to do. I could just go back here, and I'm going to X this one out so I could kind of even up that row. There you go. That looks really good. Now you could change this around by having 4 rows across or 3 rows across or whatever you want. I like the 4 rows. And you could make it sure it's Lightbox, which is really cool. That means when you click on it, it pops up like this. This is the Lightbox. This is really nice. I like this. And people could X out of it and go on from there. So this is looking really good. I just want a little bit more spacing on the top as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Oh, the other thing is order by default. You could do random. And you could also go in here and reorder this. So if, let's say you wanted this one to be first, you could go like that. And then you could insert the gallery and it would put that one first. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's go into the advanced area and let's add some padding to this. So I'm going to go into the padding area, keep this locked, and it's going to add padding on all 4 corners. The top, the right, the bottom, and the left, all together because this is locked. So I'm doing that right now. As you can see, it's adding some really nice padding to all this, and maybe not so much there. And I could add a little bit of margin. So if I click on this right here, this top thing, but if I want more spacing above it than anywhere else, I'll just click on this and I'll go to advanced. And I could add padding or margins. I'm going to add padding to the top. Let's just do that. A little bit more padding to the top, just like that. I think that looks pretty good. There you go. And then maybe I want some bottom padding, just a little bit. There we go. I'll make it the same. There you go. That's really nice. So let me see how this looks now. So I'm going to go ahead and press update down here. And I'm going to preview the changes by going like that. And this is looking really good. Notice now there's a little bit of spacing there, and that's good. You want that spacing there. Depending on your browser, it'll add the spacing or it will close the spacing up. But this is looking really, really nice. So I'm going to click on that. And now with my mouse or keyboard, I could click on this, or with a mouse, I could click on this. It gives you that option. And then you could close it up like that. And it's great because it also works on mobile devices as well. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make this a template, because if you go to the home page, I want that to be the same as my other galleries. So I just created a page. I'm going to click the back button, this page right here. But I want to make this a template so I could duplicate that template for all the other ones. So all of these are going to be looking the same, except they'll have different images. So I'm not going to do all the pages, but I'm just going to create a new 2 pages for you so you know how to link this to that page and then create a new page with that template. So let's do that right now. Let's go back here. I'm going to go back to the editor here, just like this. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on this right here, this folder here. So I'm going to create a template for this and go up to the top and click My Templates. Here, you don't have any templates yet, but we're going to create a template by clicking this Save button here. And I'm just going to call this Projects page. And I'm going to press Save. And it's going to create that right there for me. Okay, I'm going to X out of this because I don't want to add another template to this. And I'm going to go back to the admin area. So I'm going to erase all of this right here. And I'm going to go back to your admin area. So your website /WP-admin, or you could just go to your homepage and click that W. And we're going to go back to this dashboard right here. And we're going to go ahead and create a new page as well. So I'm going to show you how to create a new page. And then I'm going to link both of these, this project 1 and then project 2, to the home page. So let's go ahead and create an add new. And I'm going to do another project here, project 2. And again, I want to make sure that's transparent is enabled. And then I'm going to press publish. And then I'm going to edit with Elementor right here. And it's going to open up that Elementor. And then I'm going to click on this right here. And we did all the work by creating that template. This is really cool. And I'm going to insert this project page that we just created by clicking insert there. And then it's going to ask me, you sure you want to do this? Yep, I want to do that. And it's going to create this project page. It's going to look the same, but we're just going to change out some things. So maybe we'll just change out the project 2. Maybe we'll go up here and we'll change out this background here to something else. Let's find some other thing. Maybe this one or this one. There you go. We'll just do that. And then you could start changing out all of these as well if you wanted to. So you could go and click edit here and you could start changing out and uploading new ones. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to press update and I'm going to click the preview button just to make sure I did it correctly. Okay, perfect. So now it's going to give me a new URL. It's going to say your .com, your whatever your name is, your website /project 2, for example, and it's going to have all this other stuff on the outside. I'm going to back click on this. So all you want is your .com /project 2. And when you go there, it's just going to go to this project 2. And this is what we're going to link to the home page. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to go to the dashboard one more time, and we're going to go to pages. And then we're going to see these 2 new pages here, project 1 and project 2. Let's go to project 1 and I'm going to click view and you'll see it does the same thing. It'll say your domain /project 1. Let's highlight all of that and let's right click or press copy or right click and copy that. So you want to copy this by Control C, and then we're going to go back to the home page and we're going to edit this and we're going to paste that into one of those project areas. So we're going to go down and we're going to click on this right there, this little button. And in the content area here, we're going to link this to a URL and we're going to paste that URL right there. So this is all paste there, HTTP, your domain /project 1. And then I'm going to press update. And then I'm going to say preview. So I want to see this and I'm going to test this. Notice this has a link now and not this one. So I'm going to click on this and it's going to go to my projects. Beautiful. And I'm going to click on this. And this is really cool. Now that I could see my projects, then I could go back to the home page by the navigator up there and I could edit this one as well. I already know it's project2/project2, but if you don't know the exact link, you could go back here, go to pages again, go to project2, view it, and you could copy this right here. So you could just copy this URL, and I'm going to press Command C. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go to Edit Elementor, and then I'm going to do the same thing by scrolling down, clicking on this, click the link button, custom URL, and I'm going to paste that in there. Make sure it's all pasted in there. Press Update, and you could do the same for all the rest. So I'm going to preview this to make sure it works. And there it goes. It's going to project 2. Very, very nice. Next, I'm going to show you how to edit this header area here. I'm going to show you how to make a free logo. I'm going to show you how to edit this here so you could add more links or take away some of these links. And I'm going to show you how to remove or edit this call to action phone number area right here. So let's get into it by making a free logo by opening up a new tab and going to logomaker.com. That's Logomakr without the E, Logomakr. It should look something like this. And then just go ahead and click on Start My Design. This is really great because it's a canvas that you could add elements to, and I'm going to show you how to make a really nice logo using over 3 million graphics. They also have templates you could use, and it's all free. You don't have to sign up or anything to make this logo. So it's really, really cool. So I'm going to go first to the top area right here, and I'm going to look for camera or something like this. And there's a bunch of camera stuff here that I could look for as an icon. So I'll just pick one of these right here as my camera icon. And I could resize it by clicking, holding, and dragging it. And you could recolor this however you want as well. I'm just going to keep mine black for now. Then I'm going to add some text to this, just like this. And I'm going to just type in portfolio. Now I'm going to go ahead and make this black by going to the color palette here. And I'm going to change the font to something else. I like Poppins, so I'm going to keep it at Poppins. Let me go back to Poppins here. And you could make it bigger by holding and dragging it to the same size. So you probably want the same size as this logo right here. I'm going to make this logo really simple. There you go. But there's so much stuff that you could do with Logo Maker. You could add different layers and everything else like that with Logo Maker. So it's really, really cool, and you could use one of their templates. But I want to make this very, very simple and straightforward. So I'm going to do this at first. Then to save your logo, just go to the top right, press save. And this is what it would look like if you had it on t-shirts and stuff. If you want to get it for t-shirts and banners and have all these other big files, you could get that. I'm just going to get the free version right now by getting the free low resolution version by clicking this. I'm going to agree to the terms of service, and I'm going to download this for free. It downloaded it to my desktop, and there it is. And I could use this for my website right now. So I do want a black version, but I also want a white version as well, because if you go back, you probably want it white here, and then maybe you want a darker one down here. So notice up here is a white one, and down here is maybe a darker one. I want just a white one up here. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to go to the color palette, and I'm going to make it white. You can't really see it, but it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and press save. And then I'm going to go down where it says download low resolution file again, accept terms of service, download that, and now it's here. And you'll see it, and it's transparent background right there. So this is like a dark background just because it's a preview or background, but it's all transparent. So that's what's really cool about Logo Maker. They give you these transparent backgrounds. This PNG is a transparent background type. And then I'm going to upload it to the site. But I want to do one more thing. I want an icon for this. I'm going to get rid of the clip art. So let me highlight this again, and I'm going to make it dark just so I could see it. And I want to get rid of this, and I just want this alone. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this alone, but I want it in white or dark. Yeah, I want it in dark because I want this to show up down here just alone, just a standalone. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'm going to click download low resolution. So I'm just getting a couple versions for the website. And there it is right there. Okay, so now let's add that to this. I'm going to go into this area and I'm going to click on Header Builder. Now what's cool about this builder is you can move some of these elements to the left or to the right. Notice I just moved this menu over by just dragging it over. Click and drag. It's really simple. And you could also remove elements like this right here. See this phone number? Let's say I wanted to remove it. I could just click on this X button and it would just remove it. Or you could click on it and change the telephone number if you wanted to. I don't really want this right now, so I'm just going to remove it by clicking this button. There you go. But let's go ahead and edit this logo by clicking on it there. And I'm going to click Change Logo. And now I'm going to upload this logo by clicking Upload Files. Now I'm going to go to my Downloads area. And I want this one right here that says Portfolio. I'm going to select that. I'm going to skip cropping right down here. It's trying to crop it, but I want to skip that cropping. And I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. There you go. You don't want it too big. You don't want it too small either. And then what you want to do is you go to Design. Make sure you can make the margins bigger or smaller if you want to. And click on Customize Transparent Header. And you want to remove this as well. You want to change this one out as well. Because if I just go to the site right now, just let me show you. It's going to show me this. So you need to change the design, the transparent header as well on desktop and mobile. And I'm going to change that to this one. Click on that. Choose image. There you go. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There you go. And then let's go ahead and let's go to desktop. It looks good. And let's press publish. All right. So we did that and we added a logo and that looks pretty good. Let's go back to the site and see how it looks. It's looking good. I could even make it smaller or bigger depending on what I want to do. So I may make it a little smaller actually. Let's make it a little smaller. Portfolio, press publish. Go back here, press refresh. There it is. I like that better, a little smaller. That looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to show you how to edit these links right here. So if you want to remove links and stuff, go back to this area here and just click on the back button right here. And then go to menus right here. So I don't want the service one. You could delete that by going into this menu area and going to services right here. Click on this, scroll down and press remove. And I just removed that right there. So what I'm doing is I'm just going back into this area, going all the way back to the beginning of this menu, finding menus, finding main menu, and you could add or delete pages here. You could even add another page. So if you built another page, you could click add items and you could add another page to this, but just by adding services back to this, move it up or down. You could even make it a sub menu if you wanted to, but I'm going to delete that and press publish. There you go. All right, so now we're going to edit the bottom footer right here. I'm going to show you how to edit this. So what you want to do is you want to go back into this area where it says customize, and you could do that by clicking this top button, or if you're in the dashboard, you could do that by going to appearance and then clicking customize. Either one will take you back here to this area. And what we want to do is we want to edit this area by either clicking this, but I like to go to this area here to the footer builder. So click on the footer builder down here, and it's going to open up this right here where we could move this stuff like we did up on the header. We could take this and move it down. We could move this back up. We could delete this stuff or add new elements. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So on this, I want the menu to be up on the top, because what if I add a lot more? It's just going to get cramped in here. So I'm going to take my footer menu and I'm going to drag it up here. But before I do that, I want to see if I could go to settings by clicking this button here and making it just one column. What that does is it just makes it one large column as opposed to it splitting it up. Notice these are 3 columns, but this is one large column. Then I'm going to take my footer menu and I'm going to drag it up here. There you go. And as you can see, it's there now, but I want it to be centered. So I'm going to go ahead and center that by going down here and clicking middle and under vertical alignment. So that should center that. And then when I click on it again, I want to go ahead and align it right there in the middle. So I did it within the design. So now that we have it there, I want to go ahead and put something here. And I want to put my logo there. So I'm going to move this HTML1 over here. And I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to edit this. I'm going to put my logo there. So let's go ahead and edit this by clicking on it and clicking this pencil right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace it by clicking replace, and I'm going to go ahead and upload an image. Let me go ahead and upload a new image that I already made from Logo Maker. Okay, so here's one that I made that's black, and I just want it by itself without the other stuff. I made 2 of them, but I also made a black one as you saw before. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to upload it there, and I'm going to click replace. Now, it may look a little bit bigger. That's okay. Let's hold and drag this so it's a little smaller. And I probably even want it smaller than that. There you go. That's much better. So you could put your logo on here. You could put your social media on here, and you could put, copyright on here. Let's go ahead and put some social media maybe in here as well. So I'm going to click this plus button, and I'm going to add social right there. So now I have a logo, social media, and then I want to go ahead and edit this copyright. So you can put whatever you want. Maybe I'll put portfolio site or something like that. And you could put copyright or whatever you want to this as well. For the social, you could click on this and you could edit each and every one of these to your social media links. So for example, Facebook / whatever your social media link is, you're going to have to check in with your Facebook account, Twitter account, Instagram account, and so on if you want to add that. You could also add other ones that are right here as well, Yelp, YouTube, and so on. So that's really, really cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and publish this by clicking publish. All right, so we made our footer. Let's go ahead and look at the footer by erasing all this stuff after your website.com or .net name. And let's go to the footer and take a look. That's looking pretty good. I like that. I would even make this a little smaller, but overall it looks pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is get into the mobile settings. Now that we finished this, it looks really, really nice on your desktop, but sometimes when it shrinks down to mobile, there's a little difference in the way it looks. So we're going to go ahead and fix those differences right now and make sure that it looks good on mobile and on tablet devices as well. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get into your Elementor page builder. So I'm going to work on the home page first, and then I'll get into the about page and contact page really quickly with you. But first, click on the edit with Elementor. It's going to load this up, and I'm going to go down to the bottom here where it says responsive mode. Click on that responsive mode. It's going to allow you to see what it looks like on desktop, on tablet, and also on mobile devices. Now I'm going to show you how to make sure that it looks good up on the top here. But first we're going to get into the page builder, and we're going to resize some of this stuff. I think this is a little too big for mobile, and I want to just resize this. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go up here to styles. And then I'm going to go to typography, and I'm going to resize this. Notice size right here says mobile, and that's good because it's only resizing it for mobile. So I'm going to resize this for mobile just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to go down and see if anything else needs fixing. And I think it's fine. If there's too much spacing, like too much spacing down here for mobile, maybe you could make that change by clicking on this. And I'm going to go to advanced. And you could change it down here. You could make it less spacing if you want to. I think that looks pretty good. Let me check this one. Bottom 40, maybe a little less. So I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit. You'll see this shrinking down just a little bit. But I think overall it looks good. You're going to see the space in between just because you're in the editor, but you're pretty much fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update. And then you could do that for all the other pages as well. So let's get out of this responsive mode and let's go to your website URL, just removing all this other stuff after the .com or .net. And I'm going to go to About Us. And I could do the exact same thing here by clicking Edit with Elementor up here. I'm going to let this load. I'm going to go down to the responsive mode here. And I'm going to go up here to the mobile view. And maybe just a tiny bit smaller for this one. There you go. And I'm going to look and see if anything needs extra spacing. Right now it looks pretty good. Maybe there's too much spacing between here and here. Let's see if we could fix that by clicking on this section and clicking Advanced. And then I'm going to go to the top, and I think the top, I'm going to put it up by moving this top where it says top. It was 50. Now I'm moving it to, I'm going to move it to like 30 or something like that. That looks a little bit better. All right. Now I'm going to click Update, and that looks a lot better. Okay. So now I'm going to get into this header and also the footer as well. You could change up for mobile as well. But let's get into the header right now because I'm not seeing my logo and I want to make sure we see our logo on the header. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to your website by going to your .com, .net, by erasing all that stuff on the top. And we're going to go to Customize right now so we can make sure that the header looks good. And at the bottom of the Customize, you'll see that we have the desktop view, mobile view, and the tablet view down there. So I'm going to click this mobile view so I could see what it looks like. And you could click this edit button right here, and it will go right to the editor of this area. Or you could go back to primary header, header builder right there as well. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Customize Transparent Header right there. And I'm going to say Enable on desktop and mobile. Make sure you do that. And there you go. Now it's enabled. This header, it's now flushed up against that in the background. But what's weird is this is really small right there. So what you want to do is you want to just go down to the bottom where it says logo width, and this is only happening on your mobile device, which is great again. And you can make this bigger, just a little bit bigger. There you go. That looks really, really good now. Maybe a little smaller than that, but that looks pretty darn good now. And then you could go ahead and press publish when you're done. And you could also change this color if you want to as well. So to do that, all you have to do is go to Design right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way down until I see Background right here. It says Toggle Color Background right there. And I'm going to click on this, and you can make that darker if you want to, or some other color. I like that color, a little darker. See if you could kind of match the same tones of your website as well. However you do it, it's probably fine. And you could change any of this other stuff as well, the other colors and icons and whatnot as well while you're in there. But I'm going to go ahead and just click on Publish, and there you go. Okay, so the next thing you want to probably look into is this area down here. If you want to change any of this into mobile settings or change some of the stuff, you could just click on that right there, the little pencil mark. And then I go ahead and click on Design right here, and you'll see these little mobile things right here. If you want to adjust anything, it will adjust it only for mobile. So let's say you want to adjust the inner column spacing, you could do that here. And if you want to just reset it back to normal, you could do that as well. If you want to adjust some of the padding here and add more padding like I'm doing here, or add a lot of padding, you could do that as well. I'm going to go back to 0 because that's fine. Actually, let's do 20. Maybe a little bit more than 0. There you go. And the margins and so on. So that looks pretty good to me. But it's up to you how you want to adjust all that stuff. And you could click this one right here, and you could do the same thing here. So this is looking pretty good, but it's really up to you on how you want to adjust all the padding within the design area to make it look really nice for your website. So the next thing I like to do is I like to log out of the website and see it from the perspective of other people without this bar. So the way to log out is you could just go to the very top of the browser right here, and you could just click log out. You could also do that from the dashboard here by just clicking up here and clicking log out. And if you want to log back in, all you have to do is go to your domain name /wp-admin, and you're going to get this area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log out like I just did right now, and I'm going to delete all the stuff after the .com or .net, your domain, and I'm going to look at it as if I'm a new user. So this is looking really, really good. So that's it. You just made a professional portfolio WordPress website that looks really good, and that would cost you a lot of money to make. So congratulations. And we did this all step by step with no step skipped. And please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video.